There used to be an advert, I think it was for Playtex corsets, girdles or something, with this man with this sort of bicycle sort of pedal thing, like winding this woman up into a corset. And it's always been a bit of a joke, really, the corset, hasn't it?
Quite often, yeah.
Because not only women wear them, men used to wear them as well, didn't they?
Well, there's actually quite an interesting quote in this book, which is it's sort of short stories and essays by Angela Carter, but it's actually a bit about a bloke who's written a book on fashion and fetishism. And there's a bit about the tight waists of Russian and Prussian heroes. Apparently the military corset was a really big thing, and the men all used to wear them to battle. And there's also a bit about, needless to say, it doesn't say who, but an interview with an English baronet, a member of Parliament for 50 years, who habitually wore a corset and found he always delivered a better House of Commons speech when supported.
We see the other thing is, I suppose, because there are orthopaedic corsets, aren't there, that you have to wear to keep your back very straight. So I suppose it's not really as strange as it seems.
No, I think it just depends on how tightly you lace them and how fetishistic you are about it. I mean, certainly because of selling them in my shop, Religion, I've started wearing them. And having gone through college as a feminist, and I always thought high heels, corset, and but once you start wearing them, they are actually really pleasing. And I mean, I've got a short,
yes, you've got a
waist clincher on, which I mean, I wear this when I'm lecturing in design, when I'm teaching, and I quite happily wear it all day, and it's really comfortable.
I was going to say, because I once did a film which was set in Victorian times, and we had to wear proper corsets. And to be honest, we couldn't eat properly, we couldn't breathe properly, and after a while it was very hot where we were. It was the most uncomfortable thing I think I've ever had to wear, because we had these nipped-in, really tight waists, and it was flipping uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I mean, do they need to be like that?
No, they don't need to be. I mean, there's always people who are obsessive about things. I mean, corsetry has been likened to the sort of the present day thing of people suffering from anorexia and bulimia and things. That it's that obsessive thing with wanting to get your waist really small.
Yeah.
And I think the smallest is in the Guinness Book of Records. It's a woman who's got a 13-inch.
13 inches.
13-inch waist.
That's with the aid of a corset.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. Anyway, we're going to have a look at Alison, who's in one of your outfits. Very Madonna, we think. Alison, would you like to come in? Now, this is like Jean-Paul Gaultier, isn't it? I mean, this is the image that we have nowadays of the corset.
Yeah, but this is quite a young, clubby, funky look. These we actually buy in from a company called Vollers, and it's a small family business. They've been hand-making corsets for 3 generations.
Crikey.
And we sell them in Religion, as much to people who want to wear them as sort of fetish fashion. But we also sell them to university students going to balls, and they'll wear one of those with a really big, full sort of black taffeta skirt.
Of course, you could, couldn't you? Do you have to be measured up properly for a corset, or can you just buy one off the peg?
No, you can buy them off the peg. I mean, you can get them custom made, but what you do is you undo the lacing at the back. You get it quite loose, then do it up at the front.
And then pull
the lacing in to get it to exactly your fit. Once you've got that, then you don't need to change the lacing at the back.
Now, you're talking about, this woman getting itself down to a 13-inch waist for this. Would it not damage your ribs or something?
I think you'd probably damage something, yeah. That's a very extreme case.
It is a bit, isn't it? And I see that you've also, as well, you've teamed this up with a pair of trousers. Why is that? Is that the way that we,
I don't know.
the dangling suspenders?
My style, I like contradictions in one outfit.
Yeah. So
I think corsets don't have to be seen as sort of evening wear skirts, sort of very conventionally female. You can actually be more boyish, loose trousers and big boots, and I really like that look. Contradiction.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Liz, we're going to look at some more, because you brought lots of outfits in. And
Pop outside to the galleries now and have a wander around the shop. I'd say. Catherine.
Yeah, actually, it's quite interesting saying that about body paint. What makes you wonder how long Debbie Moore took to get off that whole suit that she had painted on for that photograph Vanity Fair. Anyway, enough waffling from me. This is Liz Lewitt. She's a designer, and we're looking at the corset. When did we start wearing corsets?
Well, the earliest reference were the Cretans in 1500 BC. They used to wear them. And corsets have gone through a history of all sorts of weird fabrics and materials.
Is that, I was going to say, is that because we've different shapes of women have been fashionable at different times?
Men as well, not just women. I mean, historically, right through history, it's been men who've worn them as much as women.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking about, the Rubenesque women. You wouldn't want a corset on a luscious, lovely,
voluptuous wench.
Would you?
No.
They need
I think fashions of bodies, again, like fashions of clothing, always seems to be the extremes. You know, if really long skirts have been in fashion, then a couple of years later, mini skirts will be in fashion. The same with bodies, I think. It seems to, you know, go through the extremes.
And at the moment, we're going through the Kate Moss anorexic phase. She hasn't got one on, hasn't our...
No, we're going to put one on in a moment.
Oh, right, I see. Now, as I said before, you know, you match these up with dresses, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is to show how you can have a plainer dress and then dress it up with a corset, and also to look at how these are made. I mean, historically, the corsets have gone through being made in boiled leather.
Oh, Lord.
And, you know, used whalebone and cane and bits of wood and all sorts of things to reinforce them.
Yeah.
This is a ribbon corset, a modern day one. I mean, I just think they're so beautifully made.
That is lovely, isn't it? That is fair. And did you make this yourself, or
no? These again come from the company Vollers.
Yeah. I mean, how much would something like this be?
We retail them at Religion for £55.
Yeah, well, you can see why they're expensive, because obviously a lot's put into it. Do you want to bob that on? See how we wear it?
If you loosen the laces at the back,
Yeah.
and then, which I've done, so if you can clip yourself into it.
You see, it's all very well, isn't it? Because she's so slim, is Alison. I mean, I just have a feeling that if I did that, my bottom would look even more rounded than before.
But that's, I mean, to a lot of people, that is the desired look anyway, to create a further pear shape.
Oh,
to
really?
emphasise that, to have the contrast of the bosoms and then the very small waist.
Because I can imagine, you know, it's quite nice to have your bust all bulging and Fiona Fullerton-ish at the front, but, you know, it's just the thought of my bottom sticking out a bit that kind of puts me... Can we have a look at the front now, then? That looks fab, doesn't it? Lovely, lovely. Harp music from Rupert Parker. This is Wire TV, this is Afternoon Live, and we're looking at corsets, and we're talking about the history of corsets with Liz Lewitt, who's a designer. Who brought the corset back into fashion then? Was it Madonna and Jean-Paul Gaultier?
Well, it does come back in regularly, as we were saying before, and that I think that in the 70s, it was the punks who really made it popular. Madonna just kind of did it to extremes and made it hers, and, you know, she got all the publicity for it and all the credit for it.
Because it was extraordinary when she stood there in Cannes and sort of emerged, you know, through that sort of wrap-off, and everybody went, wow, didn't they, you know?
But I think also the other thing is within the fetish market, which has been going on underground for years and years and years, corsets have always been popular, and bras, you know, with point and conical shaped breast bits have always been popular and all this sort of thing. She probably latched onto that and brought it out into the mainstream, so she very much got the credit for it.
She's very into the sort of fetishisms anyway. Now, here we have Alison looking in a beautiful, beautiful dress, I must say, and this lovely top. What we're going to do with this?
Well, I was going to put this deep satin corset on.
Can we actually, I know these are beautifully made corsets and everything, but I mean, if you haven't got a lot of money to spend, can you get them a little bit cheaper?
To be honest, I don't know.
Right,
because I've only dealt with two companies, and they're all...
Yeah.
I mean,
just thinking if people haven't got a lot of money, you know, they want to dress something up, maybe they could get them a little bit cheaper.
You probably could from Ann Summers or something like that, but the quality wouldn't be as good. That's what I really like about these, is that the quality is so beautiful.
Yeah.
You can wear them as outer garments.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look then.
And this is just one final look.
That's a stunning dress. It really is. Wow, look at this. It is amazing. What's you can have a flash of colour, isn't it?
You can have a... Leaves you in a bit.
Oh, she's pulling her in. See, the trouble is you got to get your old man or somebody, your mate, to give you a hoisting in, haven't you? Really?
Well, I think in these days of sort of AIDS and recession and all the rest of it, I think, you know, if you can find things that keep couples together and keep them interested in each other.
Why don't you come round and do it by
players.
corsets? You know, you can just see it. What marvellous! And there she's got this lovely top, and it's the
show. See you later.
It's a natter. Actually, I wouldn't mind having that tank at this time of year.
That would be great.
You know, to get into a car park, it'd be marvellous. Just ram everything out of the way, because, you know, you get queues for car parks at the moment. It's absolutely terrible. I just love it. I'd love it. Anyway, more from Mark and the YTV Roadshow in Croydon tomorrow. This has been Afternoon Live. Coming up at 5 o'clock, of course, we have the new Newlywed Game, followed by a little bit more Afternoon Live. Fenella, what's on tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow I've got my little list of goodies here. Some more Christmas decoration ideas, I think on a more traditional note. I'll be joined by some student fashion designers. So Chapman Pincher will be here with his lovely dog, Dido.
No.
Oh, sweet. And Sean, our hairdresser, will be here. There's no cutting, but there's going to be some beautiful dressing with ivy and holly and party ideas.
And of course, it's Doctor Day. You can call this number. I better not do that because last time I did that, it all fell on the floor. Hope you've enjoyed the sumptuous Christmas decorations that we've got here at this time of year. We will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Don't forget, call us because the Doctor will be in tomorrow. And coming up at 5 o'clock, it's the new Newlyweds. So until tomorrow at 1, it's bye. Bye.